This morning, hundreds of flights now being canceled as the airline industry braces for flight reductions. Ahead, which airlines are having the most cancellations?
And dropping attendance, what the state says is behind a severe drop in students enrolled in public schools across Wisconsin is ahead.
And we got snow in the forecast, maybe the first snow of our upcoming winter. How much we could see when we see you in the full forecast.
Well, good Friday morning. You're watching News 3 Now this morning, and I'm Michelle Renee Quinn filling in for Kyrion Lee.
I'm Chris Stanford. Thanks for joining us. Getting you ready for the weekend, and we have an update on those snow chances.
Yes, we do. Let's send it right over to Blaze Keller this morning in for Savannah Brito. Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle Renee, Chris. Good morning to you as well, and folks at home. We have made it through the work week. It is going to be a cloudy day as we go further into Friday, starting off on the sunnier side, though. But I think all of our attention is onto that snow chance. Hey, calm down over there. I'm trying to talk about the weather. Don't slam your cup down on the desk, Chris. They want to know about the snow. And it is going to arrive as we go into really Saturday afternoon. The sooner the temperatures drop, the longer we're going to have the snow around. So if that happens sooner rather than later, then we'll have maybe a better chance for higher snow accumulations. We are expecting snow overnight Saturday into Sunday, and then throughout Sunday we'll be left with hit or miss flurries along with some breezy conditions. As of this morning, we're looking at about an inch or less for folks in Dane County, Columbia, Sauk, Richland, Crawford, Vernon, Juneau, Adams, everybody south of there into Grant, Lafayette, Greene, as well as Rock and Walworth counties. We have a better chance for more of that 1 to 2 inch mark. But again, this was made this morning. Make sure you're tuning in tonight with Alex. He's going to have even more up-to-date data, and we may end up having to tweak this a little bit. We want to make sure you're getting the most accurate forecast, as this is likely our first snow of the season. With that, we'll track out some isolated rain chances today in the full forecast.
Thank you, Blaze. Now to the government shutdown, now in its 38th day. The Senate returns to vote on a House funding bill this morning, with Republicans planning a different tactic to entice moderate Democrats.
But this morning, all eyes are on air travel as flight reductions at the nation's 40 busiest airports are set to begin. Today, airlines are scrambling to cut hundreds, if not thousands, of flights a day to reduce air traffic by next week. United Airlines announced it will preemptively cancel roughly 200 flights for today. That breaks down to about 4% of the carrier's planned schedule. Taking a live look at the misery map showing where delays and cancellations are happening, Delta Airlines canceling around 170 regional and mainline flights today. Southwest will cancel about 100 flights, and American is planning to reduce its schedule by more than 200 flights daily from today to Monday. Currently, no flights are delayed at Dane County Regional Airport.
Good news for those who use food share benefits. Governor Evers says the administration will immediately issue November payments for all members. It comes hours after a federal court ordered the Trump administration to use billions of dollars in available funding to provide food assistance payments. The Trump administration, though, says it will appeal the order. This morning, an investigation into what caused a deadly Fitchburg apartment fire is now underway.
The fire happened at the Valley View Apartments on Fish Hatchery Road just before 7 last night. Our crew on scene saw multiple vehicles from both Fitchburg's fire and police departments. Crews found a fire in one unit and saved an adult who was taken to the hospital and later died. Nobody else was injured in the incident.
Now to a tragic story in Milwaukee. A little boy found wandering alone ended up being linked to a woman found dead in an alley with gunshot wounds. 4 a.m. Wednesday, police found this unidentified little boy roaming alone. Police say he was nonverbal, unable to tell them who he was or what happened. Police connected this to a dead woman found 3.5 miles away. Rosetta Lampkin Johnson and her neighbor found 31-year-old Anya Raymond shot in their alleyway.
At any point, did you hear gunshots?
No gunshot at all. To my recognition and stuff like that, she must have been, killed somewhere else and brought here.
Police say the little boy is related to her, but they do not know how. They are still looking for the shooter. 6:04 now to continuing coverage of that UPS plane crash in Kentucky. This morning, there are new questions into the cause after records revealed the plane recently had some work done.
The death toll also rising to 13, with a young child believed to be among them. But we're also learning that the identities of the 3 crew members on board of the flight at the time of the crash. All 3 were killed. Now, this comes as the NTSB is now turning their investigation into the plane's maintenance history after a FAA service report had reported that a crack was found in one of its fuel tanks. The plane was serviced from September 3rd to October 18th before being allowed back in service and flying every day since then. Despite this, the NTSB says there is no reason for them to take immediate action against other similar aircraft.
A new report issued by a French court is slamming the leadership of the Louvre over security gaps at the museum. One example of a password for a key system in the museum was reported to be just Louvre. The heist also revealing that the Louvre only had 432 security cameras to monitor the 465 galleries and long-standing delays on future security infrastructure projects. French President Emmanuel Macron has called for those projects to be accelerated now. 6:05, just more local news this morning. Wisconsin Department of Health Services is asking for $1 billion in federal funding.
The money would go towards improving health care in rural areas. Breaking down their request, the DHS wants $337 million to recruit and retain rural workers, $329 million to upgrade tech for health care providers, and $279 million to create a coordinated health care system. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services will decide if the DHS's plans will get funded by December 31st.
Schools across the state are losing students, and that means they're also losing funds. Last year, 800,000 students were enrolled in the state's public school system. The state says that's the lowest count in decades. The reasons: a rising interest and availability of school choice options and a declining birth rate.
We peaked in the number of births in the state of Wisconsin in 2007. So if you think about it, those children are now 18. They're aging out of the school system.
In comparison to the 800,000 public school students, there were 125,000 in private schools. There were also about 25,000 students enrolled in the state's parental choice program, which was launched in 2013.
Turning now to the Badgers, UW Athletic Director Chris McIntosh says football coach Luke Fickell will stay on as coach next year. Fickell has been with the Badgers for 3 seasons already and currently has a 15-19 record. This year alone, Fickell's record sits at 2-6 and winless in the Big Ten. Fickell's contract currently runs through the 2031 season, and if his contract were to be broken, the university would have owed him over $25 million. McIntosh says the move comes as the program is set to get a funding boost.
Goodman Community Center are getting ready to help families in need for Thanksgiving. This year's basket drive starts next week, and they could really use your help. The drive starts on the 15th. They're looking for food and money to help fill 4,000 baskets this year. News 3 Now is once again a proud partner. You can start donating online right now. Just log on to goodmancenter.org/donate.
The temperatures may drop, but that won't stop a packed weekend in downtown Madison. Saturday is the last day to visit the farmers market on the square. It will then move indoors for their holiday market. Also Saturday, the Badgers play at home against Washington. That kickoff is at 3:30. Then on Sunday, the Madison Marathon returns. It starts at 7 a.m. and the city says the last runner should wrap up around 1:30.
And the marathon impacting roads around downtown. So this weekend, the races are going to begin on the square. The full marathon goes through the UW Arboretum, Vilas Park, and around Lake Monona, and then back to the square. The half marathon starts on the square, and it goes around Monona Bay toward the Arboretum, and then around Lake Wingra before coming back downtown. The 10K starts on the square and then goes toward Goodman Park around the Monona Bay. Some roads around the square are going to be closed starting at 8 a.m., with more closures happening after the farmers market. You can find more details at the City of Madison's website. All right, thinking about those runners, are they going to have to be dealing with like slick conditions on Sunday morning, for the marathon, or is it just going to be the cold? What do you think? And give us your best forecast for the marathon. What do you got?
I did say it was going to snow overnight into the start of Sunday, so
yeah. I mean, that's...
It could be slick,
but
crisp.
is the ground... we've also been saying the ground is warm enough. So
no, I'm just giving you some sass.
I know.
It's too early.
Don't put me in the middle of it, okay?
Chris.
There you go. Take it outside. Take it outside.
It is likely going to be a little bit on the slicker side, all jokes aside. On Sunday morning, especially there on the grass, I think the roads will be okay because temperatures are going to be not only in the 50s today, but warm above freezing on Saturday. Saturday. Sunday, it will start to cool on down, but we really haven't been cool enough for so long that the snow is going to stick. We're probably not going to have to put any sort of salt or sand out with this snow because it is going to be on the lesser side. But just know that if you are going to be running on in the marathon on Sunday, or if you're going to be out and about Saturday into Sunday, you're probably going to be coming across some slick spots, especially further south where we're expecting more of that 1 to 2 inch possibility of snow in that kind of teal color blue. The light blue, that's where we're expecting up to 1 inch of snow. Flurries are going to be on and off throughout Sunday. We'll track out the rain chances later this afternoon in the full forecast.
Sounds good, Blaze. Coming up in your morning sports, the Packers bracing to take on the defending Super Bowl champions on Monday. Why Packers writer Jason Wilde warns the Packers may need to get ready for a controversial play.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Josh Breiter. It is Friday morning, and we are planning your weekend out with 3 things to do just ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Snow is in the forecast, the first one of the winter season. So let's talk about just how much we could receive when it starts, when it ends, and a few of those showers that we could see later this afternoon. So let's start off with the shower chance this afternoon. Mostly cloudy conditions as we get further into your Friday. There are those showers popping up as we head into the afternoon. This is just some of the wraparound cloud cover and moisture from the system that moved through last night, bringing us that line of showers. So hit or miss. Not anticipating much in the way of accumulations with those rain chances this afternoon. Then we turn ahead to the weekend. That's when our next system brings us that rain-snow mix beginning likely into the late morning, early afternoon hours on Saturday, turning over to all snow Saturday night through early Sunday. Sunday, the heaviest of the snow wraps up early, but underneath mostly cloudy conditions, we'll be dealing with an occasional flurry here and there as we end the weekend. We're looking at, based on data from this morning and yesterday, at about 1 inch or less for folks in parts of Dane County, Sauk County, Columbia County, folks north of Madison, north of the Wisconsin River. Just based on how this system's path is taking it, this is where it's likely going to be 1 inch or less. Further to the south, where there's a little bit more moisture, maybe 1 inch to 2 inches of that snow. This was never going to be a heavy snow maker. I know some of our models way early on when they started to pick this up were predicting like 6 to 9 inches of snow. Never in the cards. This is just not a strong system, and there's not a lot of moisture with it. In conjunction with our forecast, we like to compare what some of our models are seeing. Are we way out in left field, or are the models and us somewhat in an agreement? There's going to be disagreements because we here at News 3 Now, we're people and we're going to kind of interpret things differently. But what do our models say? And they're looking at similar conditions, about 1 inch or less for the Madison area as we go over the next 48 hours, starting to pick up there Saturday afternoon into Sunday. So kind of in alignment with what we're thinking. Not a heavy snowmaker, probably going to be a mix between the light and fluffy and at times some of that more wet, heavier snow. But I think all you'll probably need is to let Mother Nature do the melting for you, because temperatures are going to be in the 40s throughout the day on Saturday and then still above freezing by a few degrees on Sunday. So air temperatures are going to do a lot of melting. The ground is still rather warm. It's also going to do a lot of melting there. So those are things to keep in mind with this next weather system. As we look ahead to next week, Veterans Day on Tuesday, 40s returning, and we'll be near 50 all throughout the rest of next week.
All right, Blaze, thank you. All right, Friday morning, we are working for the weekend in the 608.
Josh Breiter is live with the Weekend Planner.
Hey guys, good morning to you. We're into November now and the holidays are right around the corner, if you can believe it. So here are your 3 things to do this weekend in the 608. Saturday is the final Dane County Farmers Market on the Square for 2025. This producer-only market features vendors selling what they grow. So grab your family and friends to support these local makers and enjoy this Madison tradition one final time this year. Then stay tuned for the special holiday markets beginning later this month. And while you're downtown, the Winter Art Fair off the square returns to the Monona Terrace for its 36th year. They're featuring more than 135 Wisconsin artists with pottery, paintings, jewelry, and glass. There's a silent auction Saturday and a young collector's corner where kids under 12 can shop. The fair runs Saturday 9 to 5 and Sunday 10 to 4. Admission is $5 and kids under 12 get in for free. On-site parking is available for $5. And finally, the 2025 Wisconsin Heights Craft Fair is Saturday from 9 to 2 in Mazo-Maney. Shop holiday gifts from local makers in the 608 and beyond. Plus, popular vendors like Tupperware and Pampered Chef will be there. Students and school groups will also be selling handmade items. That fair donates 100% of the proceeds back to the communities, supporting scholarships, school groups, and local food pantries. Donations of food or money are encouraged at the door. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. Friday morning, if I can feel it, feels good.
It does feel good. So much art. There's always so much art in the community and so many events, these craft fairs. I got to get to one. I have to.
And this is a big time of the year because they're all gearing up for the holidays. So This is their time to get their stuff out there. And
we're going to see some sparkly Christmas trees. Who knows what's out there. Oh boy,
some good stocking stuffers.
Right.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Good stuff this morning, Josh. Thanks for sharing with us.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for inspiration to share in the 608. You have an idea for him, reach out and let him know about it. Turning now to your morning sports. Wisconsin Badgers return to Camp Randall tomorrow to face 24th ranked Washington with their season on the line. The Badgers need to win their final 4 games in order to reach bowl eligibility. They have just 2 wins on the season through 8 games. Wisconsin hasn't won since early September, coming off a bye following that road loss in Oregon. Coach Luke Fickell on the hot seat saying the team must stay focused on the month ahead.
We know we've got 1 month left guaranteed to us, and the most important thing is how do we focus on that month and what are the things that we can do to continue to push forward and keep scratching, clawing, growing in all areas.
Badgers face their 3rd consecutive ranked opponent before traveling to Bloomington to take on number 2 Indiana. Fickell remains optimistic, though, about his team's ability to compete despite the challenging schedule.
Turning now to the Pack, we are just days away from their big game against the defending Super Bowl champions.
But as News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde shows us, the Packers are going to have to watch out for a special move from Philadelphia.
Good morning, everybody from Lambeau Field. The Packers continue their preparations for Monday night's matchup against the defending Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, who will be coming in here not only focused on winning and improving their record to 7-2, but you can bet that they haven't forgotten which NFL team brought the suggestion to the league meeting in the spring about banning their tush push, the short yardage play that has become unstoppable in the NFL. Now, the Packers got lots of questions yesterday about stopping the tush push. Matt LaFleur's advice, don't get into any short yardage situations and you'll be fine. We'll see if that strategy works on Monday night when the Eagles come to town. We'll have full coverage of the tush push and everything else Packers leading into Packers-Eagles on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our newsletter, which delivers our Packers coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Jason, thank you. Still ahead, new holiday cups and how the Packers are giving back to local communities.
We're back right after this.
Welcome back. Now, we already told you about the new festive flavors returning to the Starbucks menu, and I am personally looking forward to my first gingerbread chai latte. But you guys have to see this. Look how cute it is. This is the glass Starbucks Barista Cold Cup. Perfect for your cold brews, iced matcha or coffees, whatever you like to drink. Now, the barista stands alongside seasonal Starbucks gift sets arriving now. From cold cups and tumblers to Starbucks cards and more, each item features joyful designs and wintry textures. Barista, almost 30 bucks.
He even has his own cup.
Yes, he's holding a little cup. It's so cute. So it's only available for a limited time while supplies last. Personally, I'm a cold brew drinker, so this is right up my alley. But I thought it was cute.
That is cool. Something different. Got to change it
I
up.
might actually have to go get that.
It's pretty cute.
Just because it's limited time and you want to put it on my desk, right?
Yeah.
I knew it.
I had no idea they were releasing the holiday menu this week, and the Starbucks line was wrapped around the building, and I was like, what is going on? And I was like, that makes sense.
Yep.
It's that time
Watch
of the year.
out on the 13th, too.
Oh, yeah.
And take a look at this. A Wausau nonprofit Open Door of Marathon County is handing out 60 pounds of Packers gear. So this all started with a volunteer reaching out to the Packers to get a pair of shoes for one of those clients. Now, people struggling with homelessness, as well as those who are adjusting to life after prison, are receiving these items and have expressed immense gratitude. So, I mean, I don't know how difficult it would be to get a size 18 pair of shoes, but our Packers are continuing to give back.
That's right, our Packers, right, Josh?
You know, as a Viking fan, I still appreciate how much the Packers are in the community. Like, they are some of the best at it in giving back, so that's great.
And even if you're not rooting for the team on the field, you can still root for them in your heart.
Absolutely.
And we will take a look at that cold weekend forecast after the break.
Like, am I gonna get to my destination? Am I gonna make it back from my destination?
This morning, eyes on the skies as flight cancellations are set to begin. Plus, when the Senate is set to take up a new spending bill.
Plus, calling for clarity as data center proposals pop up locally. What Dane County is doing to help.
And the Packers stepping up to help in a big way. How their food donations help those in need and is good for the climate.
And a lot going on this weekend, including our first rain-snow mix of the upcoming winter, how much we could see and when it all ends in the full force.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Michelle Renee Quinn, filling in for Kyrion Lee.
All right, we got this snow in the forecast, colder temperatures on the way. You ready for it? Are you ready for the first snow of
Chris,
the season?
No, I'm not ready. You asked me yesterday.
But you're so positive and you're so optimistic about things.
Yes,
you have this
I am.
way of always seeing
It'll be a beautiful winter wonderland in December.
That's what I'm saying.
In December. I don't want a winter wonderland this weekend, and that's good because it's going to be light. That's what Blaze was saying. Let's send it over to him and get exactly what we need to be expecting.
That's right. This is going to be the lighter side of a snowstorm, if you will. It was never in the cards to be a heavy shut down the city type snowstorm. It's simply too early for that, and this system is coming out of the northwest. Shut down the city type system would be coming out of the south. We will still deal with some snow. We're going to watch to see when the rain snow mix turns over to all snow, likely Saturday night, but it could happen later Saturday afternoon. The sooner it changes over, the better chance we will have here across central and southern Wisconsin to get those higher snow accumulations. But it's not going to be a crazy snow. We're looking at higher accumulations of maybe 1 to 2 inches there along the state line. Further to the north, probably an inch or less. Again, we're still very early in the winter season. Temperatures not only on Saturday, but even on into the day on Sunday, above freezing. We have not had prolonged cold to get the ground to be below freezing. We're going to do a lot of melting as the snow is falling, and the snowflakes that do make it to the ground, they are going to melt as well, given that the ground is still warm. We will be dealing with some flurries on Sunday, and then we look to dry out as we head into next week. Of course, Veterans Day on Tuesday. What we can expect next week, we'll also time out some isolated shower chances later today in the full forecast.
Blaze, thank you. We'll be checking in shortly. Now to the government shutdown. This morning, airports and travelers are bracing for major cancellations and delays.
It comes as flight reductions at the nation's busiest airports take effect. We're keeping an eye on LAX this morning, one of the 40 that will gradually cut 10% of flights by next week. No impact so far this morning at Dane County Regional, but we are keeping an eye on things. Milwaukee General Mitchell and Green Bay Austin Straubel already seeing some cancellations this morning. Airports nearby that'll be directly impacted by these cuts. Chicago, Midway, and O'Hare, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Detroit. The goal here from the Trump administration is to alleviate pressures due to a surge in sick calls from air traffic controllers who've been working without pay during the federal government shutdown.
Like, am I gonna get to my destination? Am I gonna make it back from my destination?
They're worried about putting gas in their car. They're worried about putting food on the table. As that risk increases, you have to begin reducing the capacity of the system. Today, relief, though, for 40 million Americans getting SNAP food aid.
Yesterday, a judge ordered the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP after it said it would only provide partial funding. The decision, the administration says it will appeal.
Governor Tony Evers announced his administration will immediately issue November payments for all food share members. As the shutdown hits day 38, sources from both parties say Senate leaders met again yesterday in attempts to negotiate final details of a deal. They are expected to vote today.
This morning, Fitchburg Fire investigating a fire that killed one person. Fire and Rescue Police Department responding to the Valley View Apartments on Fish Hatchery Road near City on a Hill Church just before 7 last night. First responder pulls an adult from one of the apartments, rushed them to the hospital, but they didn't survive. No other injuries, and the cause is under investigation.
New video overnight of a car accident in downtown Madison. Now take a look at this video. An SUV rolled over and was upside down. This happened at the intersection of Pinckney and Gilman, just a few blocks away from James Madison Park. Now our cameraman saw two people talking to Madison police at the scene. Our crew also observed two vehicles being towed, and we're working to find out more about this.
The driver charged in a crash in Rock County that killed a 15-year-old is out on bond this morning. Carter Petit, charged with one count of homicide by negligent operation of a vehicle. The criminal complaint says the 17-year-old admitted to smoking a THC vape before the crash. Several of his passengers, including the 15-year-old who died, were not wearing a seatbelt. Deputies believe Petit was traveling well over the speed limit when he lost control. Thursday, the judge released him on a $50,000 signature bond.
Looking ahead to the April election, Victoria Lambrose has announced her candidacy for Fitchburg mayor. She is a licensed broker and VP at KWS Construction. She's also the executive director of the Apartment Association of South Central Wisconsin. As a UW-Madison graduate, she began her career as a legislative aide. She's looking to unseat Julia Arada-Frada, who's seeking re-election after her first term.
In continuing coverage now of proposed data centers. As more people push back, Dane County has a new committee to keep you in the loop. It's in response to companies like QTS trying to build a data center into Forest. People there have complained they don't have enough information about the project and its effects. Officials say their goal is clarity.
A lot of this process is pitting the town against the village. And what we really need to have is something at the county level where everybody can come together, everybody can be welcome at these meetings, and there can be transparency.
We're concerned about invaluable farmland being taken by these hyperscale data centers that can't be replaced.
Janesville also in the early stages of a potential data center. People there are raising similar concerns.
New this morning, Tesla's shareholders voted to give CEO Elon Musk a $1 trillion pay package over the next decade. It's one of the richest compensation packages in history, and it's going to the world's richest person with an estimated net worth of more than $400 billion. That's according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. But the big payout is contingent on the company hitting certain targets.
In more national news this morning, the Dallas Cowboys are mourning the loss of defensive end Marshawn Kneeland, the 24-year-old involved in a pursuit, ending in a crash, found dead from an apparent gunshot wound. A self-inflicted gunshot wound. Kneeland, a 2024 second-round pick from Western Michigan, had just played 7 games in his professional career. If you or your loved one struggling with thoughts of suicide, call the National Suicide Crisis Lifeline at 988.
Former NFL player Antonio Brown is back in the U.S. after being extradited from Dubai to face an attempted murder charge. Currently held in New Jersey, Brown is expected to be extradited to Miami, where an altercation occurred at a boxing event in May. He was initially detained but not arrested due to the absence of a victim. Brown claims he was attacked.
6:37 now. As many face food insecurity, the Packers have partnered up with the United Way to donate leftover game day food that would otherwise get thrown out. This week, volunteers loaded 200,000 pounds of food on a bus inside Lambeau. Rooted Inc., a Green Bay nonprofit that strives to connect people with nutritious food, got the idea after collecting more than 7,000 pounds of food after the NFL draft. It also supports Packer food vendor Delaware North's initiative to keep perfectly good food away from the landfill.
Our food pantries in our community have been seeing increased numbers over the last year. This is just really, I think, the beginning of highlighting how important there's this disconnect in our food system.
Well, you love to see it. The food will make about 300 meals.
Now to the Badgers. Tomorrow, UW football returns to Camp Randall for a critical showdown against the Washington Huskies.
Kickoff scheduled for 3:30. It'll air on the Big Ten Network. It's a pivotal game. After the bye week, the Badgers have a chance to rally and make a statement in front of the hometown crowd. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to have Angie Horgan with WisconsinBeefTips.com to talk about tasty tailgating recipe. And don't forget, tonight, Badger men's basketball is back. They're taking on the Northern Huskies at the Kohl Center. It comes a couple days after their 96-64 blowout win over Campbell. Tip-off set for 7:30. Tonight's game will be on the Big Ten Network, and you can catch highlights on News 3 Now at 10.
And that is not the only team playing tonight. Men's hockey is on the road and taking on the number 2 ranked University of Michigan in Ann Arbor tonight. This also comes just days after their own major win against rival University of Minnesota, 4-0 on Tuesday. That puck is set to be dropped at 6 tonight. And you can catch the highlights tomorrow morning on Weekend Mornings.
Don't forget, you can keep up with everything Badgers by tuning in to the Wisconsin Huddle. It airs tonight. Wisconsin Volleyball's Mimi Collier is the guest this week. Badgers won big over Minnesota Wednesday night. You can watch the Huddle at 6:30 right here on News 3 Now after News 3 Now at 6.
And this morning, the company behind the Farmer's Almanac says this year's will be their last edition due to financial challenges. The Maine-based group first published the book back in 1818 and has continued for 208 years. The version's online book is also expected to end next month. The book gives readers gardening tips and other farming-related trivia, but it's most well known for its weather forecasting.
Blaze, care to weigh in on the Farmer's Almanac?
No, I do not have any comment because I don't think I have anything nice to say. And my mom always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So let's look ahead to the weather this weekend. That is when we will see likely our first snow of the winter season. It is continuing to look on the lesser side. Again, this was never in the forecast to be a big shut down the city blizzard type winter storm. Still very early in the winter season. Temperatures are still above freezing, and that's going to play a crucial role in melting some of the snow even as it's falling and hitting the ground. Most of us will probably pick up an inch or less. Further to the south, I would say closer to the state line, that's where we have that better chance for at least an inch of snow, possibly upwards of 2 inches of snow in some isolated spots. Before all that, we're in the 50s today, breezy, becoming more partly sunny, an isolated shower possible into the afternoon. Kiddos, as they're heading off to school and we're heading off to work, temperatures in the upper 40s. So we might need that light jacket, but we'll be in the mid 50s when we're all heading home on this Friday afternoon.
Thanks, Blaze. Hey, 6:41. Taking a live look outside, we are grilling up some game day goodness here on News 3 Now this morning. We'll see what Angie can do with Fritos.
I'm excited.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
A few showers will be possible later this afternoon, but we are going to be warm in those 50s and breezy at times. If you're not a fan of the cold, the rain, or the snow, try to get out and enjoy as much of today as you can because we have to wait till about Tuesday of next week, Veterans Day, and then onward for those warmer temperatures back into the 40s to return. So a low pressure system that brought us the rain overnight is continuing to exit the Midwest. Some of that wraparound moisture and cloud cover may produce a shower or two as we head further into your afternoon. We're looking at eventually partly sunny conditions before that weekend clipper moves on in, bringing us that rain-snow mix through most of Saturday, turning over to snow Saturday night into Sunday, with those flurries impacting us as we go throughout your day on Sunday into the early morning hours on Monday. Winds will be very breezy out of the northwest on Sunday. This weekend system continues to move its way through parts of central Illinois and Indiana, almost cutting through St. Louis. If we wanted this to be more of an impactful clipper, at least bringing us a better chance for snow here across southern Wisconsin, we want that clipper to move its way closer to the Chicagoland area. This is too far south to really bring a lot of that more accumulating snow northward. Not to mention, It's a weaker clipper, so there's not a lot of upward motion in the atmosphere. But we're going to watch to see when the rain snow turns completely over to snow. The sooner we do that on Saturday, despite its southerly track, will lead to higher snow accumulations. If we have to wait until later Saturday evening into Saturday night to turn that mix over to snow, then it's going to be lesser accumulations. Overall, this was never going to be a big blizzard-making snowstorm by any means. We're looking at probably an inch or less for a lot of our coverage area here at News 3 Now. Closer to the state line, a better chance for at least an inch to possibly 2 inches of this snow. This was made this morning, so make sure you're tuning in to Alex this afternoon and then Jacob on Saturday morning to get the latest updates, because we're going to have even more up-to-date data, which may end up tweaking our possible snowfall forecast. But there's a lot of factors that are at play here to limit how much snow we see. Temperatures, when they dip below freezing, as I said, Saturday, turning that mix over to snow. Ground temperature still above freezing, so a lot of that snow is going to initially melt as it lands on the ground. It is a weak clipper system, and that southerly track are all factors that are leading to a not as impactful snowfall this time around. We're back into the 40s starting Veterans Day onward into next week with drier conditions as well.
All right, thanks, Blaze. Well, it is football weather out here on the patio.
And we're ready.
Michelle Renee is dressed up for the occasion. We've got AJ Argo with WisconsinBeefTips.com here to talk about a game day grilling recipe. We're mixing it up a little bit today. Something you could do in a crock pot or in a pot like you've got. What are we making?
So it's called our Big Game Frito Pie. So it's kind of a nice, simple chili recipe. I kind of call it a chili recipe. It seems very chili-ish. And make that ahead because it takes about an hour. And then serve it over Fritos. So it's like a walking taco, which are great too. So it's kind of portable, but it's a chili over Fritos. So I started with 2 pounds of lean ground beef. I browned that up just in my stock pot, and I got about 1 medium onion diced. Then we're gonna add in a can of Rotel tomatoes with the diced green chilies.
Those come in so handy.
It gives
always good to have one in the cupboard, right?
That heat, you know, they're kind of, they add a lot of flavor.
We like the heat this time of the year.
Well, that's true. This is good. Yeah, we're going to add a lot of heat to this. 1 small can of tomato sauce, and then some one can of beer. So your favorite beer, whatever you got.
Beer? This must be a secret ingredient.
Yes. And then cumin, garlic, chili powder, and a little cayenne if you like to make it a little bit warmer to warm us up.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. So very simple recipe, but gonna stir it up, bring it to a boil, turn it down, and then cover, simmer an hour. There's the finished. How's that look?
Yeah. I mean, that looks great. It's just missing the cheese, some sour cream, and some Fritos.
Fritos. You guys want to grab a bag of Fritos?
Yeah, let's serve it up here.
I got a couple
I can
little
smell
bags.
the beer.
Can you?
Oh, yeah. I smell that coming through.
Nothing more Wisconsin than this right here.
You could add whatever your favorite beer is. I just used a light beer when I have in my basement refrigerator.
All right,
and but a darker beer would give it a little bit deeper flavor.
I'm going to do it walking taco style. I like that idea, Angie.
I only have 3 little bags of Fritos, but otherwise, otherwise do it in a bowl. Just take a big bag of Fritos.
Here.
You don't have to splurge on the little ones, but yeah, super simple. Make the chili head, make it portable.
Yeah, and then people can customize it how they want to. If they like the sour cream, if they want little cheese, a lot of cheese, or different types of toppings.
Jalapenos.
Dice it up with some cilantro and onion.
Cilantro would be good.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
There you go. I love Fritos, by the way.
And we do have a walking taco recipe too. I put on the tailgating page, but you really don't need a recipe for walking tacos. Make your great taco meat, then your Doritos, crunch them up, throw your meat in. But
I'm so happy
two kind
right
of
now.
fun ideas, thinking outside the box.
No, I love that. You
like this for
always
tailgating.
bring really interesting recipes to the table. And every time that Angie's been on this fall, we have all of those recipes in a nice, easy section to find at beeftips.com.
Beeftips.com, you'll see it right on the homepage. Click on the tailgating recipes. You'll find all the ones we've done and a couple more we haven't done yet.
All right.
At least we know the food's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Not so sure about the football, although the Badgers could sure use a win.
Go, Bucky!
All right. Hey, we have one birthday to celebrate this morning. We want to wish a happy birthday to Lindley, who turns 3 today. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. We're back with the morning sprint right after this. 6:54, time for the morning sprint.
Starting today, the FAA plans to gradually cut flights by 10% at the nation's busiest airports, saying it's necessary to maintain safety amid air traffic controller shortages during the government shutdown. The initial cuts will be about 4% for the weekend. Major airports impacted include Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, and all three in the New York area.
Governor Evers announcing immediate full November payments for all food share members. It follows a federal court's order for the Trump administration to release funds for food assistance. However, this could change if the Trump administration challenges the order or if processing errors happen.
This morning, Fitchburg Fire is investigating a deadly fire at Valley View Apartments on Fish Hatchery Road. Last night, crews responded near City on a Hill Church, rescuing an adult who sadly died in the hospital. No other injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
UW Athletic Director Chris McIntosh confirming Coach Luke Fickell for the Badger football program will continue as head coach next year. It comes despite a challenging season at 2-6, winless in the Big Ten. Fickell's contract extended through 2031. Breaking it would cost the university over $25 million. McIntosh says the move comes as the program is set to get a funding boost.
Right now, 13 people are dead as a result of the UPS plane crash in Kentucky. A young child believed to be among them. We also now know that all 3 crew members died as a result of the crash. This comes as the NTSB is investigating the plane's maintenance history after a FAA service report says that a crack was found in one of its fuel tanks.
Another busy weekend for downtown Madison. Saturday is the last day to visit the farmers market on the square. It's moving indoors for the holiday season for their holiday market. Also, Saturday, the Badgers have a home game at 3:30 against Washington, and the Madison Marathon returns. That's a full marathon as well as a half and 10K. The full starts at 7 a.m. The half and 10K start 20 minutes later.
And this weekend, we're looking at maybe an inch or less of snow for most of southern and central Wisconsin. Closer to the state line, a better chance for at least 1 to 2 inches of that snow. Upper 40s to low 50s as we're heading off to work and the kids are heading off to school. Mid 50s by the time we are heading home. It's going to be breezy, turning partly sunny with an isolated shower possible this afternoon.
CBS Mornings is next.
Thanks for watching.